Jagannathan stars in the highly anticipated Hulu series Deli Boys. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me, Rudy.
Let's talk a little bit about the quick description of the show and kind of where your character Lucky kind of plays into this pivotal part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the show is about these two pampered Pakistani American boys whose dad suddenly dies, and now they have to take over the family business. By the way, they're two complete nincompoops, and they have to take over the family business, which they think are delis, convenience stores, but it's actually an internet ranks, and they are, ill-equipped to take over delis. They are absolutely like fish out of water when it comes to business.
When it comes to that, let's talk a little bit about the filming here in Chicago. I love that this series was filmed here.
Yes, I was really, one of the things when I heard it was in Chicago during the winter, I really wanted to decline the project because I cannot bear the cold. And, it just felt so overwhelming. And I got to Chicago, I shot in Chicago, and I thought I could move here. This was one of the greatest cities in America.
Yeah, no, it's funny too, because obviously, some things are set here, but not necessarily cast here. But you see like the street signs, you see certain corners, and you're like, that's definitely Chicago. Like the Chicagoans, they know.
Yeah, for sure. We had the best crew from Chicago. We just had the best time in Chicago. I lived in this apartment building called Nima in Chicago. I just had the best time. The winter wasn't bad.
Our winter wasn't that bad this year. Let's talk a little bit about Lucky. She has the best lines, her swagger, the outfits. I mean, talk a little bit about getting the script and bringing that character to life.
I mean, I just didn't think there was so much physicality to Lucky. Like she's just first when I read the script, she comes across as a badass. But as the scripts progress, there is like, she's shooting someone with one hand. She is killing someone with her stiletto, with her feet, and she's knifing someone. She will take 10 people out at the same time without a problem at all. So I love playing this character that was not only a strong woman, but a physically strong woman, which is the opposite of who I am, by the way. So it was such a joy to inhabit the comedy of that.
Because you have, whether it's, the colorful, outfits that she wears, the fur coats, the purses.
Yes.
I mean, was there a certain accessory or a certain, thing that when you put it on and looked in the mirror, you're like, I got this character. I got Lucky.
There was something over the top about Lucky that we really were going for. Like her hair is just like, I took a lot of inspiration from Housewives of Orange County, actually. And so there was just an over the topness, and her eyeshadow is always going to match her nails. She's always going to match her shoes, like the fur, the everything. And physically, she's over the top. Like if you say something to just rub her the wrong way, she'll just in your head. And so that's where a lot of the comedy comes from. But, I have lived in Lucky's shoes for a while now, and I have to say her fashion has now become my fashion. Like I just wear now shoulder pads all the time.
I love that they're coming back. You mentioned Real Housewives of Orange County, but, Mob Wives, The Godfather, Soprano, Scarface, any other like mob type, characters or films that kind of
really went to all that. I went documentaries of mobsters. Like I did my research. I really wanted to find this woman, and I didn't find her anywhere except in the Real Housewives of Orange County. I went through all the housewives, by the way, but it was in Orange County that I found my Lucky.
That's where you found her. I mean, talk a little bit about the anticipation, for the series. Ever since it was announced, ever since the filming started, I mean, there's been such a positive reaction. I mean, talk a little bit about, kind of being a part of this project that so many people are excited for.
I just think that we're all really ready for Representation 2.0. We're just ready. We have done our identity stories. We've gone through that phase, and we're ready to be seen with ordinary stories where identity is not front and center. It's the undercurrent of the story, but it's not the plot line. And so, and the fact that we are like a mob family, like it's all so novel, it's so funny. Abdullah Saeed has written a script where the audience gets literally bumped from one joke to the next to the next. There's no intermission, there's no pause. And so everyone's just excited about the absurdity of the show.
And obviously, the story revolves around you and your nephews within the program. That dynamic, filming and whatnot, because you got to put into this character. I mean, how is that like kind of like preparing for the role and kind of once they say cut and you kind of off screen?
Well, the fun part is the show is really funny. Script wise, and it was really funny performing it. There was tons of improvisation. I still remember the read through. There's a line that Lucky says, like, "Get the gun, the gun is in the credenza, and put a bullet in his head. And then Sagar plays Raj, literally in the read-through was like, wait, what's a credenza? And that line just immediately made it into the script, like everything was fluid. There was so much collaboration. And the problem is there was so much improv that we could not keep it together during a take.
Yeah, that's definitely a generational thing. Because I know, like my mom and my aunts and everybody talks about the credenza, and you ask, the younger generation, like, what is it? What is it?
Yeah, what's a credenza? Yeah, and when you describe it, they're like, that's completely useless, and it's true. It's a completely useless piece of furniture.
And then final thing here, but before we go, there's pop-ups in New York and Austin for the opening weekend, but then there's going to be one in Chicago during St. Patrick's Day weekend. So definitely come down.
Had the best time during St. Patrick's week last year, where the water turned completely green. It was bizarre.
Yeah, no, it's going to happen again. It's their annual tradition. It turns bright green. Everybody comes down. Everyone's decked out in the green. So
fun.
It'll celebrate your 1-year anniversary here in Chicagoland. So that'll be wonderful.
Can't wait. Thank you so much.
Also, Poorna, thank you so much for your time today. Deli Boys now streaming on Hulu.
Okay, bye. Bye, Rudy.